Hello and welcome to the 7-day Pilates for Beginners program. My name is Leila and I will be taking you through the 7-day program. This program is designed for the beginner, but it is suitable for all levels because there will be progressions offered so you can work at the right level for you. This program is suitable for healthy adults with no chronic or underlying medical conditions. So if you do have any medical conditions, please check with your GP before you start doing this program. Assuming that you may have never done Pilates before, we do this in either barefoot or you can wear socks if you prefer, but we don't wear any shoes. We do a combination of standing and mat work, and we're going to cover all modalities of fitness from balance, strength, flexibility and mobility. Each session will be between 10 to 15 minutes in duration, and I would suggest that you do the sessions in order. We're going to begin today in standing, so come over to your mat and let's get started. We'll begin today's session with a little bit of balance work. This is a great way to warm up, particularly the lower extremities. So bring the feet underneath the hips. You can take them a little bit wider if you prefer. And from here, we're going to bring the arms forwards and we're going to lift the right heel away from the floor. And then as you lower the right heel, the arms are going to come back down by your side and we're going to lift the left heel. And again, we're going to lower down, and this time we're going to bring the right heel all the way off so we're balancing on the big toe. We lower down, and again we do exactly the same on the other side. Now from here, we're going to begin by bringing the heel off the floor and lifting the toes away. So we're just balancing now on each leg. If you're a little bit unbalanced, if you're feeling a bit wobbly, feel free to do this near a wall or somewhere you can hold on to if you lose balance, and just take your time. Don't feel you need to match my pace. We're going to begin lifting the knees a little bit higher, and you want to be progressively bringing the knees up to about hip height. Again, as we lift, we want to try and avoid leaning back. We want the work to come from the hips. Good, well done. So from here, starting to hold the knee up a little bit higher. So we're challenging our balance a little bit more and holding that knee higher for a little longer. So again, challenging our balance a little bit more. Good, well done. Good, and then from here, we're going to bring that right knee forwards. And if you're managing to balance okay, I want you to have a go at taking the knee out to the side, come all the way back and lower down. No, scrap that bit. So we'll take one more round. Good, well done. And then we're going to step the feet out a little bit wider now. So they're about shoulder width apart. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see a bit better what I'm doing. So from here, we're going to sit back into a small squat. So we take a breath in as we bring the arms forwards, sit the bottom back and down, and on the out breath, we come up. Now here, as you come down into your squat, don't feel that you need to come too low. And ladies, if you feel a bearing down through the pelvic floor, then feel free, if you prefer, to switch out your squats for a back lunge. Again, if you feel a little bit wobbly with the back lunge, use a chair, something you can hold on to. Otherwise, you're just going to stick with your squats. Now, we're going to add to the movement now. So once we come up out of our squat, we're going to circle through the shoulders and we're going to lift the heels. And then nice and slow down. So you can push up quickly, but we're going to slow down the lower down phase. So we sit back into a squat, we come up, and each time again we're lifting a little bit higher onto those toes, controlling that lower down phase. We're going to take two more. Good, well done. Last one. Good, holding it high on those toes. Nice and slow down. Good, well done. So we're going to continue the rest of our warm-up down on the mat. So you're going to come to the back of the mat here, and we're going to use our squat position to come down. So you're going to sit the hips back, bring the chest down, and we're going to roll all the way out onto the hands, onto the knees. So from here, we're going to take a breath in. You're going to keep the back nice and flat, knees under the hips, hands under the shoulders. And then on your out breath, you're going to slide right arm, left leg away, and you're going to lift up to shoulder and hip height. We come all the way back. And again, the same to the other side. Again, you might feel a little bit wobbly as you move from side to side, but don't worry and just take your time. Again, don't match my pace, just take your time. Now again, if you feel quite comfortable with this movement, if you're quite stable, you can add to the movement. So I'm just going to turn to face you here so you get a better view. So as you slide the arm and leg out, you move the arm and leg away from the body. Now you're not coming all the way out here, you're just moving slightly away. So if you were looking at a clock face, depending on what direction you're moving, the arm would be moving out to either 11 or 1 and the foot to either 5 or 7. And then we come back, we lower down and we move to each side. And it's amazing how much that little sway to each side of the body can really challenge your core. Good, well done. One more to each side. Good, well done. Now from here, we're going to come round onto our back, and we're going to do one of the most sort of classic Pilates exercises, which is shoulder bridge. And this is used a lot in rehab, and it's a really good massage for the back of the body. So you want to position your heels close to your bottom, hands to your side, and your feet are going to be about fist width apart. Take a breath in, and then on your out breath, you're going to squeeze your ribs down and your pelvis up. So your lower back comes down towards the mat. You're going to press through the feet, and you're going to roll all the way up onto your shoulders. We take a breath in here, and then on the out breath, we roll all the way down. So try to practice movement with breath. It really helps to focus the mind, and it keeps the exercise at a nice steady pace. So again, here we take a breath in, and then as we roll down, we breathe out. And typically, we would breathe out on the harder part of the exercise and in on the easier part of the exercise. Now from here, if you're finding this fairly okay, not too challenging, you can come up onto the shoulders. And then on your in-breath, lift your arms up and overhead and lay them on the floor overhead. And then as you roll down, you keep them overhead, and then you bring your arms all the way back down by your side. So rolling all the way up, coming onto the shoulders, and then on the in-breath, lifting the arms up, resting them overhead, and then on the out-breath, rolling all the way down, keeping the arms overhead. And this makes things much more challenging. So coming all the way up, arms up overhead, and then rolling all the way down. And again, if you find this a little bit too much, then just keep the arms down. We're going to take one more. And then all the way down. Good, well done. If you feel you need a little stretch for the back here, just bring the knees in towards you and just gently rock from side to side. Alternatively, you can just take a little knee rock with the feet on the floor from side to side, just to stretch out through the back. And then we're going to finish with a core exercise. Again, this is a classic Pilates exercise called the 100. Now, in theory, we would do this exercise for 100 beats of the arms, but we're just gonna guess what that will be, and you're gonna rest if you need to. So again, I'm going to encourage you to begin with the legs up in tabletop. So your knees are over your hips and your shins are parallel to the ceiling. And again, you're going to squeeze the ribs to pelvis here so that lower back connects to the mat. If you don't get that connection, feel free to use like a small hand towel underneath your lower back, just so you've got something to push against. So here we lift the hands away from the floor and we start to pump the arms from the shoulders. This is where the 100 comes from, because we hold this here for 100 beats of the arms. And we try and breathe in rhythm with the movement. So we might breathe in for 4 or 5 beats and out for 4 or 5 beats. So you need to find your own rhythm. So this is kind of level 1. Level 2, you could take your legs up and just lengthen them away from you slightly. You can feel how much harder this is as the legs come lower to the floor. You could keep your legs in tabletop and you could lift your head and shoulders. Now, if you're going to take this variation, you're going to keep a gap between the chin and the chest, and you're going to try and lift your upper back away from the floor rather than crunching your chin into your chest. Now, if you find this gets a bit too much for the neck, you could always hold your neck or your head and shoulders up for the out breath, and then on the in breath, rest down. So you're alternating between the two. And of course, you can always put the two together. So you might breathe out, and then you might breathe in. And again, breathing out, and again, breathing in. We're going to take 2 more rounds. Again, breathing out, and again, breathing in. Good, well done. Last one, breathing out, and again, breathing in, and hug the knees into the chest, a little stretch. Again, if you prefer, bring the feet to the floor and just have a little rock from side to side. Hopefully you'll feel those core muscles tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed day 1. I look forward to seeing you again for day 2 tomorrow.